college girl texted her dad, "I need $5,000 or they'll kill me." Wrong number. Billionaire's phone lit up. You're shaking before you realize you are. The fluorescent light overhead flickers in a rhythm that matches your pulse. Too fast, too erratic, too loud in the silence of this concrete box they've shoved you into. Your backpack is gone. Your phone is still clutched in your palm. Screen cracked from when it hit the ground during the... You can't think about that part yet. The metal folding chair beneath you is cold even through your jeans. One of the legs is shorter than the others, making you rock slightly with each breath. The torn sleeve of your blouse hangs loose where someone grabbed you, and you keep touching it. Keep feeling the absence of fabric like a missing tooth your tongue won't stop finding. 3 men. You counted 3 men. They're outside the door right now. You hear their voices, low and casual, like they're discussing a grocery list instead of what they're going to do with a 21-year-old college student who made the mistake of cutting through the parking garage alone after her evening study session. $5,000. That's what the one with the scar said. $5,000 by morning, or they'll... Your hands are still shaking when you unlock your phone. The screen is a spiderweb of cracks radiating from the corner. But it works. Your thumbs hover over the keyboard, and for a moment you can't remember what you were going to type. Can't remember anything except the smell of motor oil and how the concrete scraped your knees when they pushed you down. Dad. You need your dad. He'll know what to do. He always knows what to do. Your fingers move on autopilot, muscle memory navigating to your contacts. You don't read the name. Just tap the entry that should be Dad and start typing, because if you stop to think, you'll start screaming, and if you start screaming, they'll come back in and you can't. Dad, I need help. I'm in trouble. They want $5,000 or they'll kill me. I don't know where I am. Parking garage. Campus side but not campus. Please help me. I'm scared. Send. The message goes through with a soft whoosh that sounds too cheerful for what it contains. You stare at the screen. The read receipt appears almost immediately. Someone's phone is on. Someone's seeing this. Your dad is reading this right now, and he's probably already grabbing his keys, already calling the police, already. The reply bubble appears. 3 dots. Someone's typing. Your breath catches. You lean forward, ignoring how the chair wobbles, and watch those 3 dots pulse like a heartbeat. The message loads. Who is this? Your stomach drops into your feet. You look at the name at the top of the conversation thread. The screen is cracked, making it hard to read, but now that you're actually looking instead of just acting. Not Dad. David Chen. You don't know anyone named David Chen. You've never heard that name in your life. You must have, in your panic, you must have selected the wrong contact. Tapped one entry too high or too low. Sent the most terrifying message of your life to a complete stranger's phone. Wrong number. You type back, and the words blur because your eyes are filling with tears. I'm sorry. Wrong number. You scroll frantically through your contacts now, looking for the right one, for Dad. But your hands are shaking so hard you keep hitting the wrong letters, and the tears are making the already cracked screen impossible to read. And your phone vibrates. Another message from David Chun. You said they'll kill you. You said you need $5,000. Is that true? You stare at it. Outside the door, one of the men laughs. It's a sound that makes your skin crawl, casual and cruel. Your thumbs hover over the keyboard. This person, this David Chen, could be anyone. Could be a scammer. Could be someone who thinks this is a prank. Could hang up and block you and never think about this again, because why would a stranger care about? But no one else is coming. Your dad's phone is sitting on the kitchen counter at home because he always forgets it when he goes to bed early. Your mom is 3 states away on a business trip. Your roommate thinks you're at the library. Campus security doesn't patrol this garage. The police would take too long even if you could call them without the men outside hearing. This stranger is the only person in the world who knows you're in danger. Yes, you type. It's true. They took me. I don't know what to do. The response comes faster this time. Where are you? Exactly. You try to remember. Try to piece together the last 30 minutes of your life. You were leaving the library. Took the skyway to avoid the cold. Came down the stairs into the garage. Not the main campus garage, the one across the street. The old one. Raven Tower parking? Raven something? Parking garage near campus. Raven Tower, I think. Underground level. I can see a green door with a 3 on it. Send. The dots appear again immediately. This David Chun is still there. Still reading. Still engaged. Don't move, comes the reply. Don't make noise. Do they know you have your phone? No. They took my bag, but phone was in my pocket. Good. Keep it that way. How many of them? 3. Armed. You close your eyes, trying to remember. Trying to see past the panic. One of them had something in his waistband. Metal glint. I think so. One has a gun, maybe. The reply takes longer this time. Long enough that you start to wonder if he's reconsidering. If he's realized this is too much. Too dangerous. 2. I'm sending help. Stay calm. Stay quiet. Do what they say until help arrives. Do you understand? Your breath comes out in a sob you barely manage to strangle. This stranger, this David Chun whose number you hit by accident, believes you. Isn't asking if this is a prank. Isn't telling you to call the police yourself. Is just helping. Yes, you type. Thank you. Thank you. How long? The door opens. You slam your phone face down on your thigh, screen going dark. The man with the scar steps inside. He's holding a bottle of water and a protein bar, and the normalcy of those objects in his hands makes everything more surreal. You got people who care about you? He asks. His voice is almost kind. Almost. Family who can get $5,000 together by morning? You nod, not trusting your voice. Good. He sets the water and protein bar on the floor near your feet. Won't come close enough to hand them directly to you. You call them. You tell them what we need. You don't mention police. You don't mention where you are. Just the money. Understand. Another nod. Smart girl. He backs toward the door. We're not monsters. You get us the money, you go home. Simple business transaction. The door closes. The lock clicks. You wait. Counting your heartbeats, counting to 100, before you slowly turn your phone back over. One new message from David Chun. Help is already moving. Estimated arrival 18 minutes. Can you wait 18 minutes? 18 minutes. You can survive 18 minutes. You have to. Yes, you type back. I can wait. His response is immediate. You're going to be okay. Promise. You don't know David Chun. Don't know if he's telling the truth. Don't know if help is really coming or if this is some elaborate, but you're holding on to that message like a lifeline. Because right now, a stranger's promise is all you have. The phone lights up on the mahogany desk at exactly 10:47 p.m. David Chun doesn't usually notice messages this late. His phone stays on silent after 9 p.m. A boundary he's maintained since building his 3rd successful exit and realizing that money can buy many things but not uninterrupted sleep. But tonight he's still awake, still working through the acquisition proposal from the Singapore firm, still pretending he doesn't notice how the penthouse feels too large and too quiet since his daughter left for college 3 months ago. The phone is face up beside his laptop. He sees the preview text slide across the lock screen. Dad, I need help. I'm in trouble. They want $5,000 or... His hand moves before his brain fully processes. He knows it's not his daughter. Emma's contact has a photo, her graduation picture, gap-toothed smile, Cap Askew. This message is from a number he doesn't recognize. Area code 612, Minnesota. But the word Dad makes his chest constrict anyway. He unlocks the phone, opens the full message, reads it once, twice. They want $5,000 or they'll kill me. This could be a scam. Probably is a scam. He's received dozens of phishing attempts over the years. The IRS needs payment in iTunes gift cards. His social security number has been compromised. His package is held up in customs. Delete, block, move on. But scammers don't usually include location details. Don't usually sound this frantic. Don't usually. His thumbs are already typing. Who is this? The response comes in seconds. Wrong number. I'm sorry. Wrong number. David stares at the screen. Wrong number. So this person meant to text their actual father and hit his number by mistake. Happens all the time. Autocorrect errors, similar names in contact lists, fat fingers on small keyboards. The smart thing to do is put the phone down. Block the number. Go back to the Singapore proposal. But he thinks about Emma. About how she's alone in Boston right now, in a dorm room he's never seen, living a life he's not part of anymore except for Sunday evening video calls that she sometimes reschedules. He thinks about what he would want, what he would need if she ever sent a message like this. He thinks about the word kill. You said they'll kill you. You said you need $5,000. Is that true? The reply takes longer this time. Long enough that he's half convinced it was a scam after all, that the person on the other end is now scrambling to adjust their script. Then yes, it's true. They took me. I don't know what to do. David stands. He's already moving toward the windows overlooking the city. Phone pressed to his palm. The downtown skyline glitters 43 floors below. All those lights representing all those people living all those lives. Somewhere out there, someone is terrified and alone and texted the wrong number. Where are you? Exactly. He pulls up a second device, his tablet, and opens 3 applications simultaneously. Security network, traffic cameras, building databases, the systems he maintains because when you're a billionaire, especially one who made his fortune in data security and surveillance technology, you learn that information is the only real currency. The response arrives. Parking garage near campus. Raven Tower, I think. Underground level. I can see a green door with a 3 on it. Raven Tower. He pulls up building records. 4 structures in Minneapolis with that name. 3 are residential high-rises. 1 is a mixed-use tower with commercial parking. He opens the security camera access he maintains through his company's municipal contracts. Technically a gray area. Technically requires specific authorization for specific emergencies. This qualifies. Don't move. Don't make noise. Do they know you have your phone? No. They took my bag but phone was in my pocket. Smart. Lucky. Good. Keep it that way. How many of them? 3. Armed? I think so. 1 has a gun maybe. David pulls up his contacts. Not the police, not yet. Police mean paperwork, questions, delays. Police mean a terrified college student trying to explain her situation to officers who might or might not take her seriously, who might or might not arrive before something irreversible happens. He has other resources. Marcus answers on the first ring. Sir, I need an emergency extraction team. 3 hostiles possibly armed. 1 victim. Raven Tower parking garage, underground level, near a green door marked with the number 3. David's voice is calm, clinical. He learned a long time ago that panic doesn't save lives. Precision does. How fast can you mobilize? 12 minutes to arrival. Do we have confirmation on the hostage's location? Working on it. David switches back to the message thread. I'm sending help. Stay calm. Stay quiet. Do what they say until help arrives. Do you understand? He watches the dots appear, disappear, appear again. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. How long? The message cuts off mid-sentence. David's jaw tightens. On his tablet, he's cycling through camera feeds. Raven Tower has 8 cameras in the parking structure. Most point at entry/exit ramps and payment kiosks. But 1 camera 5 covers the underground maintenance area. There. The feed is grainy, the angle oblique, but he can see them. 3 men standing near what looks like a utility room. 1 is smoking. Another checks his phone. The 3rd paces. And through the small window in the utility room door, barely visible, the shape of someone sitting in a chair. Marcus, David says. I have visual. Sending coordinates now. Received. ETA 17 minutes. Make it 15. We'll try, sir. David ends the call. He switches back to the message thread and types quickly. Help is already moving. Estimated arrival 18 minutes. Can you wait 18 minutes? This time the response is immediate. Yes, I can wait. He stares at that message. 2 words. So much trust compressed into 8 letters. This person has no idea who he is, has no reason to believe he's telling the truth, has no guarantee that he's not part of some elaborate scheme. But she's choosing to believe anyway because what other choice does she have? You're going to be okay. Promise. David sends the message, then immediately opens another screen. Police scanner frequencies, ambulance dispatch routes, hospital alert protocols. Because promises are easy to make. Keeping them requires preparation. He pulls up the security feed again, watching those three men stand guard over their prisoner. Watching them laugh about something. Watching them treat this like a casual evening instead of what it actually is. Kidnapping, extortion, assault. His phone is already dialing again. Johnson? I need a legal team on standby. Kidnapping case, potential assault charges, 3 suspects. Have the DA's direct line ready. Yes, I know what time it is, because I'm about to hand them the easiest conviction they'll see all year. He ends the call and returns to the message thread. The college student hasn't written again. Probably can't risk it with her captors nearby. David sets his phone down carefully, then walks to the floor-to-ceiling window. The city spreads beneath him like a circuit board. All those lights and connections and invisible pathways between strangers who will never meet. Except sometimes they do. Sometimes a wrong number becomes exactly the right number at exactly the right moment. He checks his watch. 16 minutes until his team arrives. 16 minutes for a terrified student to stay quiet, stay calm, stay alive. 16 minutes to prove that sometimes, in a world of disconnection and digital distance, one stranger's promise to another actually means something. He picks up his phone again and sends one more message. Don't be afraid. I won't let them hurt you. This time he doesn't expect a response. This time he just needs her to know she's not alone anymore. Your phone is a live grenade in your pocket. Every vibration makes your heart stutter. Every time the screen lights up against your thigh, muted but visible through the fabric of your jeans, you're certain one of them will notice. Will see that faint glow. Will realize you're not as helpless as you're pretending to be. The protein bar sits unopened at your feet. The water bottle sweats condensation onto the concrete floor. You should probably eat something. Drink something. Maintain your strength for whatever comes next. But your stomach is a clenched fist and the thought of putting anything in your mouth makes bile rise in your throat. 15 minutes. That's what David Chin said. 18 minutes. But 2 or 3 have passed while you've been sitting here, listening to the men outside argue about something. Sports, maybe. One of them keeps saying a name you don't recognize. The others laugh. They sound almost friendly. You wonder if they've done this before. If you're not the first person they've shoved into this room with threats and demands. If there's a protocol they follow, a script they've memorized through repetition. $5,000 by morning. Morning feels like a lifetime away. Your phone buzzes again. Subtle, quiet, but you still flinch. You wait. Count to 30. Slowly ease the phone out of your pocket, keeping it low, angled toward your body. If the door opens right now, they'll see. They'll know. But you have to look. Have to see if it's him. If help is still coming. Update. 13 minutes. Team is equipped and briefed. When they arrive, stay down and stay quiet. Do not stand until someone identifies themselves to you by name. Understood? Your thumbs shake as you type. What name? The response is immediate. Marcus will say, David sent us. That's how you'll know they're mine. Okay. You should probably ask more questions. Should probably ask who David Chun is, how he has a team, why a stranger is sending armed people to rescue you from armed people. None of this makes sense. None of this follows the logic of the world you thought you lived in. But you're not in that world anymore. You're in a concrete room that smells like mold and motor oil, wearing jeans with scraped knees and a torn blouse, waiting for help from someone whose face you've never seen. Another message. Are you injured? You look down at yourself, cataloging. Scraped knees already mentioned. Bruised wrist where someone grabbed you. Split lip where your face hit the ground. Possible cracked rib where someone's boot. Minor injuries, you type back. I can move. Good. Is the door metal or wood? You look up. The door is maybe 6 feet away, Close enough to touch if you stood and reached. Close enough to see the scratches in the paint, the bent corner of the number 3 that's mounted at eye level. Metal. Old. Industrial. Lock type. You lean slightly, trying to see without being obvious. Deadbolt, I think. Maybe reinforced. Windows? No. Other exits? I don't think so. There's a longer pause this time. You watch the screen, watching for those 3 dots. Your hands are cramping from how tightly you're gripping the phone. Okay, that's good. Contained room means controlled extraction. You're doing well. Something about those words, "you're doing well," makes your eyes sting. You're not doing well. You're falling apart inside this concrete box. But the fact that someone thinks you are, that someone is tracking your responses and finding them adequate, good, helpful. A door slams somewhere. Not your door. Somewhere else in the building. But close enough that the sound reverberates through the walls. You shove your phone back into your pocket just as your door opens. Different man this time. Not the one with the scar. This one is younger, maybe late 20s, wearing a hoodie and expensive sneakers that seem surreal in this setting. He's holding a phone, not yours, and frowning at the screen. "Your dad answering?" he asks. You stare at him. Your actual dad. Your real dad who's asleep right now with his phone on the kitchen counter. He's not. Your voice comes out thin, papery. He doesn't keep his phone on at night. The man's frown deepens. You better hope he checks it in the morning then. 5,000 isn't much. Should be easy. $5,000 is your entire semester's living expenses. $5,000 is 3 months of rent and groceries and textbooks. $5,000 might as well be $5 million for how quickly your family can assemble it. But you nod. He'll check. He always checks first thing. Good. The man steps back toward the doorway. You sit tight. Quiet. No screaming. No banging on shit. We've got all night, but I'd rather not spend it listening to hysterics. Clear. Clear. He closes the door. The lock clicks. You wait. 10 seconds. 20, 30. Before pulling your phone back out. One of them just came in. Asked about my dad. I said he's asleep. David's response. Did they hurt you? No. Just talked. Did they notice your phone? No. Good. 11 minutes now. Can you hear anything outside?
Baiklas.
Voices? You close your eyes, focusing past your own hammering heartbeat. The men are talking again. Casual. One of them mentions food. Getting burgers after this is done. The mundane nature of their conversation makes everything worse somehow. Just them talking. Normal conversation. They're not worried. That's good. They don't know we're coming. What happens when your team arrives? The 3 dots pulse for a long time before his answer appears. They'll handle the situation. Quickly. Professionally. You won't be in danger. I promise you won't be in danger. You stare at that phrase. Handle the situation. You wonder what that means exactly. Wonder what quickly looks like. Wonder if professionally includes weapons, violence, the kind of confrontation that gets people killed. Are they going to hurt those men? Another long pause. Only if necessary. That's not reassuring. That's not. Your phone vibrates with another message. But I need you to understand something. Those men took you, threatened you. They made a choice to put you in danger. My team's only job is to get you out safely. That's the priority. That's the only priority. Do you understand? You understand that David Chun is trying to prepare you for something. Trying to manage your expectations. Trying to make sure you don't blame yourself for whatever is about to happen. I understand, you type back. Are you scared of my team? Or scared for those men? The question stops you. Are you scared of rescue? Are you worried about your kidnappers getting hurt? The man with the scar called this a business transaction. The one in the hoodie talked about getting burgers after. They're treating you like inventory, like a problem to be solved, like something that stops being human the moment it's worth $5,000. I'm scared of staying here, you finally type. That's all. Then trust me. 9 minutes. You pocket the phone again. 9 minutes. Outside the door, someone laughs. Inside this room, you count your heartbeats and try to remember what safety feels like. The messages stop at the 8-minute mark. You check the screen once, twice, 3 times, but there's nothing new. Just David Chen's last message sitting there. Timestamp frozen. 9 minutes. That was 2 minutes ago. Now it should say 7 minutes. Now you should be getting updates, locations, confirmations, reassurances that help is still coming. But the screen stays blank. You wait 30 seconds and send. Are you there? The message delivers. Shows as read. But no response. You type again. Did something happen? Read. No response. Your pulse starts climbing. The concrete walls seem to press closer. Maybe his phone died. Maybe he's busy coordinating. Maybe he was lying. The thought arrives like ice water down your spine. What if this was all elaborate fiction? What if David Chun is sitting in his house somewhere, laughing at the stupid college girl who believed a stranger would send a team to rescue her? What if there is no team? No help? No Marcus who'll say, David sent us? What if you're exactly as alone as you were 30 minutes ago, except now you've wasted precious time believing in rescue instead of planning escape? Your hands start shaking harder. Think. You need to think. The room is maybe 10 by 10 feet. Concrete floor, concrete walls, concrete ceiling. The door is metal, industrial, heavy, deadbolt from outside. No windows. No vents large enough to crawl through. No weapons except possibly the metal folding chair you're sitting on. And even if you could lift it, even if you could swing it hard enough to matter, there are 3 of them and 1 of you and at least 1 gun. The protein bar is still on the floor. The water bottle has stopped sweating. Your phone battery is at 42%. Outside, the voices have quieted. You strain to hear. Press your ear against the cold metal door. But there's nothing. Just silence. Heavy and complete. That might be worse than the talking. When they were laughing about sports and burgers, you knew where they were. Knew they were distracted. Knew they weren't thinking about you. But now they could be anywhere. Doing anything. Planning anything. You pull your phone out again, check the time. 11:07 p.m. You've been here for almost 30 minutes. 30 minutes since they grabbed you in the parking garage. 30 minutes since you sent that first desperate text to the wrong number. Maybe that's all this was. 30 minutes of false hope before reality reasserts itself. You scroll up through the message thread, rereading David Chen's texts. They seemed so confident, so capable. Help is already moving. Estimated arrival 18 minutes. Like he had infrastructure. Like he had resources. Like... Your phone vibrates. You nearly drop it. New message from David Chun. Radio silence until arrival. Standard protocol. Team is 3 minutes out. Do not reply to this message. Stay quiet. The relief is so intense you actually gasp. He's still there. Help is still coming. 3 minutes. You clutch the phone against your chest. Eyes closed. Breathing through your nose. 3 minutes. You can survive 3 minutes. You've already survived 30. What's 3 more? But then the doubt creeps back in. What if radio silence is code for, I've given up? What if the team turned back? What if... Stop. You force yourself to stop. Either help is coming or it isn't. Either David Chun is telling the truth or he isn't. Either way, panicking doesn't change anything. Panicking just makes you louder, more obvious, more likely to draw attention from the men outside. So you sit. You breathe. You count. 1, 2, 3. The concrete is cold beneath you. 4, 5, 6. Your wrist throbs where the bruise is darkening. 7, 8, 9. Outside, someone coughs. 10, 11, 12. Your phone screen goes dark to save battery. You don't turn it back on. Don't want the light. Don't want to risk. Footsteps. Multiple sets. Coming closer. Your heart kicks into overdrive. You shove your phone deeper into your pocket, making sure it's completely concealed. Press your back against the chair. Try to look small, harmless, compliant. The footsteps stop outside your door. Voices low, indistinct. You catch fragments. Check on her. And, too quiet. And, should probably. The lock clicks. The door swings open. All 3 men this time. The one with the scar. The the one in the hoodie, and a third you haven't seen before, older, harder looking, with the kind of face that's forgotten how to smile. They fill the doorway, blocking any possible exit. "You sleeping?" the scarred one asks. You shake your head. Your voice has abandoned you entirely. "Good, because we need to talk about your dad." He steps inside and the other two follow. The room feels impossibly small with all of them in it. "See, we've been thinking. 5,000 is too small. We're thinking 10. Your stomach plummets. He can't." "Sure he can. Everyone can find 10 grand if they're motivated enough." The scarred man crouches down in front of you, eye level. Close enough that you can smell cigarettes and something chemical. Question is, are you worth 10 grand to him? Are you his precious little girl? Or are you the kind of daughter who's more trouble than she's worth? "He'll pay." The words tumble out. "Whatever you want. He'll pay." That's the spirit. The man stands, turning to the others. "See? Cooperative. I like cooperative." The one in the hoodie checks his phone. "Should we send the message now?" "Nah. Let her sit with it a while longer. Let daddy wonder what's happening to his baby girl." The scarred man looks back at you. "You just keep being good. Keep being quiet. And maybe the lights go out. Not just in your room. Everywhere." The entire building plunges into darkness so complete you can't see your own hands. Someone swears. Flashlights click on. 2 of them, beams cutting through the black. "The hell?" The hoodie guy swings his flashlight toward the door. "Breaker, probably." You hear it then. A sound like wind. Like shadows moving. Like something fast and precise cutting through the dark. One of the flashlights hits the ground. Someone shouts. Then silence. Then a voice, calm, professional, unfamiliar. "David sent us." The darkness is absolute. You can't see. Can't orient yourself. Can't tell where the door is, where the men are, where the voice came from. Your brain keeps trying to process what just happened. Lights out, shouts, silence, and then, "David sent us." Those 3 words cut through your panic like a blade. Marcus will say, "David sent us. This is real. Help is actually here." David Chun wasn't lying. A hand touches your shoulder, gentle, brief, and you flinch so hard you nearly fall off the chair. "Easy." The voice is close now. Male. Calm.
"I'm Marcus."
"Are you injured?" I mean, you can't form sentences. Can't coordinate your mouth and brain. "Minor. I'm okay." "Can you walk?" "Yes." "Then we're leaving. Right now. Stay behind me. Hand on my shoulder. Don't let go." A flashlight clicks on, dim, red-filtered, barely enough to see shapes. You glimpse Marcus for the first time. Tall, broad-shouldered, wearing all black with some kind of tactical vest. Military bearing. He moves like someone who's done this 1,000 times. You stand on shaking legs. Your hand finds his shoulder. The fabric is rough under your palm, canvas or heavy nylon. "Where are—" You start to ask about the 3 men, but Marcus is already moving. He guides you toward the door. You step carefully, expecting to trip over bodies or debris, but there's nothing. The room is empty except for the overturned chair and your abandoned water bottle. The men are gone. You don't ask where. Don't ask how. Don't ask if they're alive or dead or somewhere in between. You just follow Marcus into the hallway. More shapes in the darkness. More people in black tactical gear. Someone's checking doorways with a flashlight. Someone else is speaking quietly into a radio. The coordination is smooth, practiced, almost choreographed. Exits clear. A woman's voice reports. 2 vehicles staged. Medical is standing by. "Copy," Marcus responds. He keeps moving, keeps you moving, hand steady on your shoulder when you stumble. "We've got her. Condition stable. Evac in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You're moving through corridors you don't remember entering. Past utility closets and storage rooms. Past graffiti tags and water-stained walls. The building is a maze, but Marcus navigates it like he has a map printed in his brain. "Stairs ahead," he says. 10 steps. "I've got you." Your hand tightens on his shoulder as you descend. The red flashlight beam shows each step briefly before darkness swallows it again. You count 1, 2, 3 and focus on not falling. At the bottom, a door opens. Not kicked in. Not forced. Just opened like someone already unlocked it from the outside. Cold night air hits your face. You're outside. In the parking garage. The same parking garage where this started, but a different level. You can see the ramp leading up to street level. Can see 2 black SUVs idling with their lights off. Clear, someone says into a radio. Marcus guides you toward the nearest SUV. The back door is already open. Someone inside, a woman in tactical gear, extends a hand to help you up. I'm Chun, she says. Not related to David, you assume. Just coincidence. Medic, let's get you checked out while we move. You climb into the vehicle. The interior smells like leather and something medicinal. There's a first aid kit open on the seat, organized and extensive. The door closes behind Marcus as he slides in beside you. The driver doesn't wait, just puts the vehicle in gear and pulls smoothly out of the garage.
No scaling tires. No dramatic acceleration.
Just steady, purposeful movement. Vitals first, Chen says, pulling out equipment. Any trouble breathing?
No.
Chest pain? A little. Ribs maybe. Her hands are gentle as she examines you, pressing carefully along your ribcage. Probably bruised, not broken. I'll wrap them when we get somewhere with better light. She checks your pupils with a pen light, examines your split lip, documents the bruise on your wrist with a camera. This is evidence collection, she explains. For legal purposes. You're not obligated to press charges, but if you decide to, we want documentation. Okay? You nod. The world feels distant, muffled, like you're watching all of this happen to someone else. Marcus is on his phone, speaking quietly. You catch fragments. Secured without incident. And medical evaluation in progress. And, yes sir, she's safe. He's talking to David Chin. The realization makes your chest tighten. David Chun is real. This is real. All of it actually happened. Can I? Your voice cracks. Can I talk to him? Marcus glances at you, then at his phone. She's asking to speak with you, sir. Pause. Then Marcus hands you the phone. You press it to your ear with a shaking hand. Hello. Are you hurt? David's voice is exactly as you imagined it would be. Controlled, precise, but with something underneath. Concern maybe. Relief. Minor injuries. Bruises mostly.
I'm okay. I'm glow.
A breath barely audible. You did exactly right. Staying calm. Following instructions. You're very brave. You almost laugh. Brave. You spent the last hour terrified and shaking and convinced you were going to die. I wasn't brave, you say. I didn't have a choice. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's continuing to function despite it. You did that. The SUV turns onto a main road. Streetlights illuminate the interior in rhythmic flashes. You can see Chun organizing her medical supplies. Can see Marcus watching you with the expression of someone who's seen this reaction before. Thank you, you say into the phone. I don't know how to. I can't thank you. You don't have to thank me. Yes, I do. You saved my life. You didn't know me. You didn't know me anything. But your voice breaks. The adrenaline is wearing off now, leaving space for everything else. Terror. Gratitude. The sheer impossible weight of what almost happened and what didn't. Where are you taking me? You ask when you can speak again. Somewhere safe. My team will make sure you're medically cleared. Then we'll take you wherever you need to go. Home. Campus. Hospital if necessary. Your choice. Your choice. Those 2 words land differently than they should. After an hour of having no choices, of being property and leverage and problem to be solved, the idea that you get to decide something feels revolutionary. Can I? You hesitate. Can I meet you? In person. Silence on the other end. Long enough that you wonder if you've overstepped. If this was transactional for him. Save the girl, send her home, move on with his life. Then, yes. If you want to,
Ido.
then we will. Tonight if you're up for it. Tomorrow if you need rest. Tonight, you say immediately. You don't want to be alone. Don't want to go back to your dorm room and stare at the ceiling and relive every moment in that concrete room. Please. Okay, we're going to my office. It's quiet, private, safe. Marcus will stay with you until I arrive. Okay. One more thing, David says. Those men, they're in custody. Civilian custody for now, but police will take over within the hour. You'll need to give a statement eventually, but not tonight. Not unless you want to. Understood. What about, you swallow? What happened to them? When the lights went out. Another pause. They're alive. Restrained. They won't hurt anyone else. It's not a complete answer, but it's enough. You hand the phone back to Marcus. He exchanges a few more words with David, then ends the call. The SUV drives through downtown. Past restaurants still open, bars with crowds spilling onto sidewalks, couples walking hand in hand. Normal people living normal Thursday nights. None of them know that a college student was just rescued from kidnappers. None of them know that the world is different than they think it is. The vehicle pulls into an underground parking garage. Different from where you were held. Cleaner. Well lit. Security cameras visible at every angle. We're here, Marcus says. David Chen's office is nothing like you expected. You imagine something cold, corporate, all glass and steel and expensive art chosen by designers. The kind of space that announces wealth without warmth. Instead, you step into a room that feels lived in. The desk is large but cluttered. Papers, tablets, coffee cups in various states of emptiness. Bookshelves line two walls, packed with titles in English, Korean, and Chinese. Some have cracked spines and dog-eared pages. A few framed photos sit on the credenza. A teenage girl in a graduation cap, an elderly woman with kind eyes, a younger David standing beside someone who must be his father. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the city, but the blinds are partially drawn. Lamps provide warm light instead of overhead fluorescence. There's a leather couch against one wall, worn comfortable rather than showroom pristine. Sit anywhere, Marcus says. Mr. Chun will be here in 15 minutes. Can I get you anything? Water?
There.
Food. Your stomach rebels at the thought of food. But tea would be good. He nods and disappears through a side door. Chun, the medic, guides you to the couch. She's pulled out the supplies she mentioned earlier, bandages, antiseptic, compression wrap for your ribs. This will sting, she warns before cleaning the scrapes on your knees. She's right, it does sting, but the pain is grounding, real, a reminder that you're here, alive, safe. She works efficiently, wrapping your ribs with practiced precision. The compression helps immediately, makes breathing easier, makes the ache less sharp. You should see your primary care physician tomorrow, she says. Get x-rays to rule out fractures. I don't think anything's broken, but I'd rather be cautious. Okay. She photographs each injury from multiple angles, documents everything in a tablet. For the police report, she explains again. And for you. Sometimes it helps to have proof. Later, when your brain tries to minimize what happened, you'll have evidence that it was real. You nod, not trusting your voice. Marcus returns with tea, actual tea, loose leaf, in a ceramic pot with matching cups. He pours carefully, hands you a cup that's warm without being scalding. Green tea, he says. Good for shock. You wrap both hands around the cup, letting the heat seep into your palms. Take a sip. It's good, subtle, slightly sweet, calming. How long have you worked for him? You ask. David. Marcus settles into a chair across from you. 6 years. Since his father passed. What is this? What do you do? Security consultation. Corporate protection. Risk management. The words are smooth, practiced. The kind of description that sounds legitimate but reveals nothing. You take another sip of tea. That's not what happened tonight. Marcus's expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. respect maybe, or acknowledgement that you're not going to accept the sanitized version. Mr. Chun maintains resources for situations that fall outside standard channels, he says carefully. When traditional systems fail or when they're too slow, he has alternatives. Is that legal? It's complicated. You suspect complicated means not exactly, but you're too tired to push, too grateful to care about the legal gray areas involved in your rescue. The men who took me, you say. What happens to them now? They're currently secured in a location where they can't hurt anyone. Within the next hour, they'll be transferred to police custody. Evidence will be provided, security footage, your testimony if you choose to give it, medical documentation. The DA's office will have everything they need for prosecution. And if I don't want to testify, then you don't testify. Your safety and well-being are the priority. Just a second. The side door opens. David Chin walks in, and you're struck by how different he looks from what you imagined. The voice on the phone was controlled, authoritative, almost intimidating. But the man standing in the doorway is tired. His tie is loosened. His shirt sleeves are rolled up. There are shadows under his eyes that suggest this isn't the first time he's been awake at midnight handling emergencies. He's Asian, Korean. You remember from the wrong number contact name. Probably late 40s, with silver threading through his dark hair. Not particularly tall. Not physically imposing. But there's something about the way he carries himself, the way Marcus and Chun immediately straighten slightly, that broadcasts authority. His eyes find yours, and for a moment, neither of you speaks. Then, I'm glad you're safe, he says simply. You set down your teacup because your hands are shaking again. You really came. You really sent them. I thought. When the messages stopped, I thought maybe. I know. He crosses to the chair beside Marcus. Sits like his bones are heavy. Radio silence is protocol. Keeps communication channels clear during operations. I should have explained that more clearly. No, you did everything right. You saved me. David shakes his head. You saved yourself. You texted for help. You stayed calm. You followed instructions under impossible circumstances. All I did was provide resources. Resources that most people don't have. You point out. A slight smile touches his face. True. Chun finishes packing up her medical supplies. All set. You should rest. No strenuous activity for at least a week while those ribs heal. Thank you. She and Marcus exchange a glance with David, some silent communication you're not privy to, then excuse themselves. The door closes quietly behind them. And then it's just you and David Chun, sitting in this warm, cluttered office while the city glitters beyond the windows. I don't understand, you say finally. Why did you help me? You don't know me. I'm nobody to you. David is quiet for a moment. He picks up a framed photo from the side table, the teenage girl in the graduation cap. My daughter, he says. Emma. She's at college in Boston right now. Freshman year. First time living away from home. You look at the photo. The girl has her father's eyes. 3 weeks ago, David continues, she called me at 2 in the morning. She was at a party that got out of hand. Drunk students. Someone getting aggressive. She felt unsafe and she called me. He sets the photo down carefully. I was in Singapore, 8,000 miles away, completely helpless. I talked to her while she found a friend. Stayed on the phone until she was back in her dorm. But I couldn't. His jaw tightens. I couldn't do anything except listen. Understanding settles over you. So when you got my text, I thought about what I would want someone to do if Emma texted them by mistake. What I would want a stranger to do if my daughter needed help and I wasn't there. He looks at you directly. I would want them to help. Without hesitation. Without question. So that's what I did. Your vision blurs. She's lucky to have a father like you. You're lucky too. Your father, the real one. I assume he would have done the same thing if he'd gotten that message. You nod. Your dad would have moved heaven and earth. Would have driven through the night. Would have torn apart that garage with his bare hands. I should call him, you realize. He doesn't know anything happened. He's probably asleep, but I should. Use my phone, David offers. Yours is evidence now. The police will need it, right? The message thread. The proof that you texted for help. The timeline of events. You accept his phone. Dial your father's number with shaking fingers. It rings 4 times before he answers, voice thick with sleep. Hello, Dad. Baby? What? Why are you calling from a strange number? What time is it? And just like that, you're crying. Not the silent tears from earlier, but full-body sobs that make your wrapped ribs scream in protest. Dad, something happened. I'm okay now, but where are you? What's wrong? I'm safe. I'm with someone who helped me, but I need you. I'm coming. Right now. Where are you? You look at David through your tears. He takes the phone gently. Sir, my name is David Chun. Your daughter is safe in my office. She's been through a traumatic event, but she's physically okay and receiving care. I can send a car to bring you here, or if you prefer, I can have her brought to you. You can hear your father's response even from a distance. Urgent questions, demands for details, the barely controlled panic of a parent receiving the worst kind of call. David answers calmly, providing his office address, giving reassurances, promising that you're genuinely safe. He's on his way, David says, handing back the phone. 20 minutes if traffic's clear. You nod, wiping your face with your sleeve.
I'm sorry.
I don't usually. You were kidnapped 3 hours ago. I think crying is an entirely appropriate response. 3 hours. Feels like a lifetime. Feels like a different person's life. What happens now? You ask. Now you decide, David says. Police will want a statement, but it can wait until tomorrow if you're not ready. Medical follow-up should happen soon. I can arrange a private physician if you'd rather not go to the hospital. And then you figure out how to process this. Therapy might help. I can recommend someone who specializes in trauma. You absorb this. The idea that there's a path forward. Steps to take. Ways to heal. Thank you, you say again, knowing the words are inadequate but not knowing what else to say. For everything. David stands, walks to the window, looks out at the city. There's something you should know. Those men, the ones who took you, this wasn't random. They were targeting students. You're not the first. The police have been investigating for weeks. Your blood runs cold. How many? 3 others that we know of. All were released after payment. None reported it. Why not? Fear. Shame. The usual reasons people don't report crimes. He turns to face you. But you're reporting it. Your case will give the others courage to come forward. You're going to shut down an entire operation. You hadn't thought about it like that. Hadn't considered that your nightmare might be the thing that prevents someone else's. I want to testify, you say. Whatever the DA needs. I'll do it. You don't have to decide tonight. I know, but I'm deciding anyway. David nods, that small smile returning. You're remarkable. I hope you know that. Before you can respond, there's a knock at the door. Marcus pokes his head in. Her father just arrived. He's insistent. You stand, wincing as your ribs protest. David gestures toward the door. Go. Be with your family. If you need anything at all, Marcus has my direct number. Day or night. No question is too small. You pause at the door. Will I see you again? If you want to.
Ido.
Then you will. You leave the office, following Marcus down the hallway. Your father is in the lobby, pacing, looking 10 years older than he did this morning. When he sees you, his face crumples. Baby! You walk into his arms and let him hold you while you cry. Safe. Finally, completely safe. 3 days later, you sit across from David Chun in a small cafe near campus. Not his office. Not somewhere formal or intimidating. Just a quiet corner table where the barista knows him by name and doesn't seem impressed by whatever wealth or power he represents elsewhere. He's dressed casually today. Dark jeans, a sweater, wire-rimmed glasses you didn't notice before. He looks like someone's dad. which you remind yourself he is. How are you feeling? He asks after you've both ordered. Tea for him, hot chocolate for you because the sweetness helps somehow. Sore, tired, kind of numb. You trace patterns on the table with your finger. I gave my statement to the police yesterday. 5 hours of questions. That must have been difficult. It was necessary. You look up at him. You were right. 2 other victims came forward after my case went public. There might be more. Pride flickers across his face. You're doing the right thing. Because you taught me to. The words come out before you can stop them. I mean, you showed me that sometimes the right thing requires action, not just hoping someone else handles it. David is quiet for a moment. The barista brings your drinks. You wrap your hands around the mug, letting the warmth ground you. Can I ask you something? You say. Of course. What you do, the security consultation, the resources, the team that extracted me, is that all legal? He doesn't flinch from the question. Mostly. I operate in gray areas sometimes. When someone needs help and the official channels are too slow or too broken, I have alternatives. Why? Because I can. Because I have resources most people don't. Because, he pauses, choosing words carefully. Because my father taught me that wealth without purpose is just numbers in an account. It should do something. Means something. You take a sip of hot chocolate. Tell me about him. Your father. David's expression softens. He came to America with nothing. Built a business from scratch. Made money, yes, but he never forgot what it was like to be powerless. To need help and have nowhere to turn. Is that why you have the emergency response system? The team? Partially. But there's more to it. He hesitates, then seems to decide something. Can I show you something? He pulls out his phone, navigates to photos, hands it to you. The image shows a young woman. Korean. Maybe late 20s. Beautiful smile, kind eyes. My wife, David says quietly. June. Emma's mother. The past tense registers.
I'm sorry.
It was 8 years ago. Emma was 10. He takes the phone back. Looks at the photo like he's memorizing details he's already memorized 1,000 times. June was at a conference in Seattle. Someone broke into her hotel room. She called hotel security. They said they'd send someone. 30 minutes, they said. His jaw tightens. She was dead in 15. The words land like stones. You don't know what to say. There's nothing adequate. The investigation revealed that hotel security was understaffed that night. The guard who was supposed to respond was dealing with a noise complaint 3 floors away. By the time he got there, David stops, breathes. Anyway, that's why I built the team. That's why I don't rely on official channels when someone tells me they're in danger. You understand now. The efficiency, the preparedness. The fact that his team arrived in 18 minutes instead of the hour it might have taken police to respond to your situation. Because 30 minutes is too long, you say. 30 minutes is forever when someone's hurting you. When you're scared. When you need help right now, not eventually. Did they catch him? The person who? Yes, he's serving life without parole. But that doesn't. David stops again. Justice doesn't bring her back. It doesn't make Emma's childhood less traumatic. It doesn't change anything except maybe preventing him from hurting someone else. That matters though. Prevention. It does. Which is why I do this. He gestures vaguely, encompassing the system he's built. I can't save everyone. Can't be everywhere. But when someone reaches out, even by accident, and I have the resources to help, I'm going to help. You think about that night. The concrete room. The terror. The desperate text to the wrong number that turned out to be exactly the right number. I'm glad you have Emma, you say. I'm glad something good survived. David's smile is sad but genuine. She's everything. Brilliant, strong, stubborn as hell. Reminds me of her mother every day. Is she okay? With what happened to her mom? She's in therapy. Has been for years. She has good days and hard days. But she's okay. He pauses. She wants to meet you, actually. I told her what happened. She said any woman who fights back and testifies is someone she wants to know. The idea sends a weird flutter through your chest. Really? Really? No pressure. But if you ever want to meet her, she'll be home for Thanksgiving break. I'd like that. They sit in comfortable silence for a while. The cafe hums around them. Other conversations, the hiss of the espresso machine, soft music playing overhead. Can I ask you something now? David says. Of course. What are you studying? I realized I never asked. Psychology. Trauma specialization. You smile at his expression. I know. Ironic timing. Or perfectly timed. You'll have first-hand understanding. That's what my advisor said. She thinks this might actually help me, long-term, once I process it. She said sometimes therapists who've been through trauma can connect with patients in ways others can't. She's right. You finish your hot chocolate. David checks his watch. Not Rolex or Patek Philippe like you expected. Just a simple Seiko that's clearly been worn for years. I should let you get back to campus, he says. But before you go, he pulls out a business card. Not the corporate one with his company name and title. Just a white card with a phone number handwritten in neat script. This is my personal cell, not the business line. If you ever need anything, help, advice, just someone to talk to, you can reach me directly. You take the card carefully, like it's something precious, which you suppose it is. Why are you doing this? You ask. The coffee, the card, staying in touch. You rescued me. You don't owe me anything else. David stands, gathering his coat. Because you remind me why I built all of this. The resources, the team, the systems. It's easy to forget, sometimes, to get lost in the logistics and protocols. But then someone like you comes along and reminds me that this isn't about efficiency or operations. It's about people. About making sure that when someone's scared and alone and desperate, they're not actually alone. He extends his hand. You shake it, his grip is firm but gentle. You're going to do great things, he says. I can tell. This experience, as horrible as it was, it's not going to break you. It's going to make you someone who helps others who've been broken. I hope so. I know so. You watch him leave the cafe, blending into the foot traffic outside. Just another person in a city full of people. No one else knows that he's the man who maintains a private rescue team, who built a system to save strangers, who answered a wrong number text because his daughter is far away and he knows what it means to be helpless. You tuck his card into your wallet, next to your student ID, just in case. You hope you never need it again, but you're glad it's there. 2 weeks after the kidnapping, you're walking across campus when you feel it. The prickle at the back of your neck. The sense of being watched. You stop outside the library, pretending to check your phone, and glance around. Students everywhere, crossing the quad, sitting on benches, clustered in conversation groups. No one pays attention to you. No one looks suspicious. But the feeling doesn't go away. You've been having nightmares. Waking up at 3 a.m. certain you're back in that concrete room. Your therapist says it's normal. PTSD symptoms. Your brain processing trauma. She's teaching you grounding techniques, naming 5 things you can see, 4 you can hear, 3 you can touch. 5 things. Brick building, maple tree, student with purple backpack, bike rack, carved pumpkin on the library steps. 4 things. Traffic on the street, someone's laughter, leaves crunching underfoot, your own breathing. 3 things. Phone case smooth in your palm, breeze cool on your face, the weight of your backpack on your shoulders. The panic recedes. Slightly. You continue toward your dorm, but you take the long route. The one with more people, more lights, more cameras. Your father wanted you to take the semester off, move home, transfer to a school closer to family. But you refused. Refusing to let them, those 3 men whose names you now know from police reports, steal your education along with everything else they tried to take. Besides, they're in custody. All 3 facing charges. Kidnapping, extortion, assault. The DA's office is confident about conviction. You'll have to testify eventually, but not for months. The trial is scheduled for spring. You're safe. You know you're safe. But your nervous system hasn't gotten the memo. Back in your dorm room, your roommate Jasmine is at her desk, headphones on, studying. She looks up when you enter, pulls out one earbud. You okay? You look pale. Just tired. You drop your backpack, toe off your shoes. Long day. Jasmine gives you the look. The one that says she knows you're deflecting but won't push. She's been good about that. Giving you space without making you feel abandoned. Asking if you need anything without making you feel fragile. I'm ordering Thai food, she says. Want your usual? Yeah, thanks. You collapse onto your bed, stare at the ceiling. Your phone buzzes. Text from David. How was your day? He's been checking in. Not every day that would feel overwhelming. But every few days. Short messages. Simple questions. Reminders that someone's paying attention. Okay. Felt paranoid walking home. His response comes quickly. That's normal. Trust your instincts. But don't let fear keep you trapped inside. Are you on campus now? Yes. In my dorm. Good. Remember, you're allowed to be cautious and brave simultaneously. They're not opposites. You smile despite yourself. David has a way of reframing things, taking feelings that seem contradictory and showing how they can coexist. Thanks. Needed to hear that. Anytime. You set your phone aside and try to focus on homework. You have a paper due tomorrow. Something about cognitive behavioral therapy techniques. Usually you'd find this interesting, but concentration is still difficult. Your brain keeps wandering to that night, to the what-ifs and almost happened scenarios. What if David hadn't answered? What if his team had been delayed? What if those men had searched you more carefully and found your phone? Stop, you say aloud. Jasmine glances over. What? Nothing. Just telling my brain to shut up. Ah, that kind of day. Your phone buzzes again. Not David this time. Unknown number. Hey, this is Imogen. My dad gave me your number. Hope that's okay? Wanted to say hi. David's daughter. You sit up, uncertain how to respond. What do you say to the daughter of the man who saved your life? The daughter whose mother was killed because help came too slow?
Emma.
Yeah, totally okay. Nice to hear from you. Dad told me what happened. I'm really sorry. That's so scary. Thank you. I'm okay now. Your dad was incredible. He's good at that. Being incredible in emergencies. A pause? Then, are you doing okay though? Like really? The question catches you off guard. Not the surface level, are you okay, that most people ask, but the deeper version. The one that acknowledges that okay is complicated. Some days better than others. Today was harder. Those will happen. Trauma is weird like that. Some days you feel fine and then something random triggers you and suddenly you're back there. You sound like you know from experience. Yeah. Lost my mom when I was 10. Still have days where something reminds me and I fall apart. You stare at the message, unsure how to respond to that level of honesty. I'm sorry. Your dad told me. I can't imagine. It sucked. Still sucks sometimes. But you learn to carry it. Therapy helps. Time helps. Having people who understand helps. Is that why you wanted to reach out? Because you understand? Partially. But also because I wanted you to know you're not alone. Like, yes, what happened to you was specific and terrible and yours. But the feeling scared in your own skin thing? The not knowing if you'll ever feel normal again thing? That's universal. And you'll get through it. Something in your chest loosens. Permission to struggle. Recognition that healing isn't linear. Thank you. That means a lot. Anytime. Seriously. I'm around if you ever want to talk. Or not talk. Sometimes it's nice to just text someone who gets it without having to explain everything. I'd like that. Jasmine's phone dings. Food's here. I'll grab it. She disappears into the hallway. You hear voices, her thanking the delivery person, chatting with someone else about an upcoming exam. Your phone buzzes. Emma again. Also, my dad said you're studying psychology? Trauma specialization? Yeah. That's amazing. We need more therapists who've actually been through shit.
The best counselor I ever had was someone who'd survived their own trauma. They got it in a way others couldn't. That's what I'm hoping. Turn something terrible into something useful. You will. I can tell. How can you tell? We've never met. Because you're texting with the daughter of the man who rescued you instead of hiding under your covers. Because you went back to campus instead of running home. Because you're choosing to be brave even when you're scared. That's how I can tell. You don't realize you're crying until a tear hits your phone screen. Jasmine returns with Thai food, sees your face, and immediately sets everything down. Hey, what happened? Are you okay? Yeah. You manage?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Just, someone said something kind. Good kind or overwhelming kind? Good kind. She nods, unpacking containers. Eat. Crying burns calories. You laugh, wet and hiccuping but genuine. That night, lying in bed after Jasmine has fallen asleep, you think about Emma's message. About choosing to be brave even when scared. About carrying trauma instead of being crushed by it. You think about the feeling you had earlier, that prickle of being watched. Your therapist would say to examine it. Is it intuition or hypervigilance? Real threat or trauma response? You don't know. But you know this. Tomorrow you'll walk across campus again. We'll go to class. We'll continue living your life. Because the alternative is letting fear win. And after everything, after the concrete room and the threats and the terror, you're not willing to give those men anything more than they already took. Your phone lights up one more time. David. Emma said she texted you. Hope that was okay. She tends to adopt people. More than okay. She's wonderful. She is. Gets it from her mother. You smile at that. The way he always credits his wife. The way he keeps her present even though she's gone. Thank you for everything. For then. For now. For Emma. You're welcome. Sleep well. Text if you need anything. You silence your phone and close your eyes. Tomorrow will be better. Or it won't. But either way, you'll face it.
The feeling returns 4 days later. Not on campus this time. In the parking garage where you've started parking since you got your car back from the impound lot. Different garage from where you were taken. You'll never go near that one again, but still. Underground. Concrete. Too many shadows. You're walking toward your car after an evening class when you hear footsteps behind you, matching your pace. Your heart rate spikes immediately. Every cell in your body screams run, but you force yourself to think, to assess instead of panic. You slow down slightly. The footsteps slow too. You speed up. They speed up. Okay, not coincidence. You pull out your phone, thumb hovering over David's number. But before you can press call, you stop. Wait, you're not helpless anymore. You're not the terrified girl in the concrete room. You've learned things. Your father insisted on self-defense classes. David arranged for Marcus to teach you basic awareness techniques. You know what to do. First, get to a populated area. The garage has an elevator that leads to a shopping center above. Cameras, people, light. You change direction, angling toward the elevator bay. The footsteps follow but don't close distance. Whoever this is, they're maintaining pursuit but not attacking. Yet, you press the elevator button. Count the seconds. 5, 10, 15. The footsteps stop. You risk a glance over your shoulder. A man stands 20 feet away. Dark jacket. Baseball cap pulled low. Hands in pockets. Just standing there. Watching. The elevator dings. Doors open. You step inside, jab the button for the shopping level. The man doesn't move. Just watches as the doors close. Your hands are shaking but your mind is clear. That was intentional intimidation. Someone trying to scare you. Someone who knew exactly which buttons to push. The elevator rises. You dial David's number. He answers on the first ring. What's wrong?
No hello. No preamble.
Just immediate recognition that you wouldn't call unless something was wrong. Someone followed me in the parking garage. They didn't attack. Just followed. Watched. Where are you now? Elevator. Going up to the shopping center. Good. Stay in public spaces. I'm sending Marcus to you. Where are you parked? You give him the location. The elevator doors open onto brightly lit stores and restaurants. Normal people doing normal evening shopping. The contrast is jarring. I'm in the shopping center now. Second floor. Marcus will be there in 8 minutes. Can you wait 8 minutes? Yes. Good. Find somewhere with other people. Coffee shop. Bookstore. Somewhere with security cameras. You spot a bookstore and duck inside. The employee at the counter glances up. Smiles. You smile back like your heart isn't racing. I'm in a bookstore, you tell David. Do you think, could it have been one of them? The men from before?
No.
They're still in custody. But, he pauses. There's something I need to tell you. The police found evidence that the kidnapping ring was larger than just those 3 men. They're looking for additional suspects. Your stomach drops. You think someone from the organization is following me? I think someone might be trying to intimidate you, convince you not to testify. That's not going to work. I know, but they don't know that yet. You hear sounds on his end, movement, voices. Marcus is on his way. He's bringing additional security. Starting tomorrow, you'll have someone monitoring your movements. Not invasive, you won't even notice them. But they'll be there. Part of you wants to protest. Wants to insist you can handle this yourself. But the larger part, the part that felt terror spike when those footsteps matched yours, is grateful. Okay. This is temporary, David assures you, until the trial is over and everyone involved is in custody. Then you can go back to normal life. Normal life. You almost laugh. You're not sure you remember what that feels like. Marcus just arrived at the garage, David says. He's checking the security footage now. Stay on the phone with me until he gets to you. Okay. You wander the bookstore, pretending to browse while David stays on the line. He doesn't try to fill the silence with platitudes. Just stays present. Available. I was scared. You admit quietly. That's appropriate. Fear is information. It tells you something's wrong. But I didn't freeze this time. I moved toward safety. I called for help. I didn't just collapse. Because you're learning. Trauma doesn't have to make you helpless. Can make you aware. Strategic. Strong. Marcus appears at the bookstore entrance. Scans the interior until he spots you. Nods. He's here, you tell David. Good. Let Marcus take you to your car. He'll follow you home. Make sure you get there safely. Thank you. Always. You end the call. Marcus approaches, his expression neutral but his eyes sharp, cataloging everything about you. You did the right thing, he says. Changing direction. Getting to public space. Calling for backup. Textbook response. I had a good teacher. A slight smile touches his face. Come on. Let's get you home. He escorts you back to the garage, different route, well-lit, cameras everywhere. Your car is untouched. No notes. No damage. Just a regular sedan in a regular parking space. Marcus checks underneath, inside, before letting you get in. Someone will be monitoring, he says. You won't see them, but they'll be there. If anything feels wrong, you call immediately. Don't wait. Don't second guess. Just call. Okay. You drive home with Marcus following 3 cars behind. Professional distance. Not obvious but present. In your dorm parking lot, he waits until you're inside the building before driving away. Jasmine is out, study group, her whiteboard says. You sit on your bed. Adrenaline finally crashing, leaving you shaky and exhausted. Your phone buzzes. Emma. Dad told me what happened. You okay?
Yeah.
Scared but okay. You handled it perfectly. Did exactly what you should have done. Doesn't feel perfect. Feels like I'm still running. You're not running. You're adapting. There's a difference. What's the difference? Running means letting fear control your choices. Adapting means making strategic decisions while afraid. You did the second thing. You think about that. About the moment in the garage when you chose the elevator instead of panicking. When you called David instead of freezing. When does it get easier? It does and it doesn't. The acute fear fades. But you'll always be more aware than other people. More cautious. That's not weakness. That's wisdom purchased at a terrible price. I don't want to be scared forever. You won't be scared forever. But you might be careful forever. And honestly, in this world, that's not a bad thing. You set your phone down and lie back on your bed. Careful. Aware. Strategic. Not helpless. Never helpless again. 3 months later, you sit in a courtroom watching 3 men in orange jumpsuits avoid your eyes. They look smaller than you remember. Less threatening. Almost pathetic in their restraints and fear. The trial has been a marathon. Testimony from you, from the other victims, from Marcus and David's team, from the police who took custody. Evidence piled on evidence. Security footage. Text messages. Medical reports. The defense tries to paint you as unreliable. A scared girl who misunderstood a business transaction. But the jury sees through it. You can tell by their faces. By the way they look at you with compassion and at the defendants with disgust. Your testimony is clean, factual, unemotional in the way that makes it more powerful. You describe the concrete room, the threats, the terror, the text to the wrong number that saved your life. The defense attorney asks why you didn't call 911. You look directly at the jury. Because one of the defendants told me his cousin was a dispatcher. Because I'd heard stories about police not believing women. Because I was terrified and desperate, and I made the best choice I could with the information I had. The attorney moves on quickly. David sits in the gallery. He's been here every day, not testifying himself. Since his team's actions exist in legal gray areas, the DA decided not to examine too closely. But supporting, present. Emma came too, flying home from college for the week. She sits beside her father, wearing a blazer that makes her look older than 19, taking notes like she's studying this for a future career in law or justice. On the final day, the jury deliberates for less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. All 3 defendants. Sentencing will come later, but the DA is confident. 15 to 20 years minimum. You feel something. Not quite satisfaction. Not quite closure. But relief, maybe. Vindication. Proof that you weren't imagining things, weren't overreacting, weren't weak. Outside the courthouse, reporters cluster. They want your story. Want to know about the wrong number text, the mysterious rescue team, the billionaire who responded to a stranger's plea. But David's lawyers have already prepared a statement. You're not obligated to talk to anyone. So you don't. Instead, you walk with David and Emma to a quiet cafe 3 blocks away. The same cafe where you and David met that first time after the rescue. The barista recognizes you both. Doesn't ask questions. Just makes your drinks and leaves you in peace. How do you feel? Emma asks. Tired. You admit. Relieved. Kind of empty. That's normal, David says. You've been running on adrenaline and purpose for 3 months. Now that it's over, your body has to adjust. What do I do now? Whatever you want. That's the gift of closure. You get to decide what comes next. You think about that. About your future. Your studies. Your plans to help other trauma survivors. I want to finish my degree, you say. Want to become a therapist. Want to help people who've been through things like this. You will, Emma says with certainty. You already are, honestly. The other victims who testified, they said you gave them courage. That does something to your chest. Makes you feel simultaneously proud and heartbroken. Proud that you could help. Heartbroken that help was needed. I want to do something else too. You say, looking at David. I want to volunteer. With your organization. Help respond to other wrong numbers. Other emergencies. However I can. David sets down his tea carefully. You don't owe me that. I know. But I want to. I want to be part of what you built. Part of the system that helps people when traditional systems fail. He studies you for a long moment. Then nods. We'd be honored to have you. Emma grins. Good. Then we can all work together. I'm planning to join Dad's organization after graduation too. You look between them. This father and daughter who lost someone precious but didn't let loss destroy them. Who turned grief into purpose. Who built something meaningful from tragedy. Thank you, you say. For everything. For answering. For believing me. For saving me. You saved yourself, David says again. We just provided resources. Okay. But here's the thing. Emma leans forward. Yes, you saved yourself. But also, my dad saved you. Both things are true. You can be strong and need help. You can be capable and accept rescue. They're not contradictions. You smile. You sound like your father. I'll take that as a compliment. They sit in comfortable silence. Outside, the city moves around them, people living their lives, unaware that in this small cafe, a survivor and her rescuers are mapping out a future built on shared purpose. Your phone buzzes. Text from your father. Proud of you, baby. So incredibly proud. You respond, thanks, Dad. Love you. Then you add his contact to favorites. Double check that you've spelled his name correctly, that there's no chance of ever texting the wrong number again. Though you think, looking at David and Emma, sometimes the wrong number is exactly right. So what happens now? You ask. David smiles. Now you heal. You finish school. You help others. You live a full life. You prove that trauma doesn't get the final word. And if I need help, if I have bad days, then you call. Emma says simply. That's what we do now. We're family. Family. Not by blood. Not by circumstance. But by choice. By shared experience. By the strange alchemy that transforms a desperate text message into a lifelong connection. You raise your hot chocolate. To wrong numbers. David and Emma raise their cups. To wrong numbers that lead to right places. David amends. To finding family in unexpected ways. Emma adds. They drink to that. To survival and connection. To the strange paths that bring strangers together. To the idea that sometimes, in a world of disconnection and distance, one desperate text can change everything. 6 months later, you're sitting in your first therapy session as a provider, not a patient. The woman across from you is young, scared, recently escaped from an abusive situation. I don't know if I can do this, she says. Don't know if I'm strong enough. You lean forward. Can I tell you something? A year ago, I was where you are. Scared, traumatized, convinced I'd never feel safe again. What changed? I learned that asking for help isn't weakness, that survival is active, not passive, that you can be terrified and brave simultaneously. She looks at you with hope flickering in her eyes. Really? Really? And I'm going to help you, not because I have all the answers, but because I've walked this path. And I know the way forward. After she leaves, you sit in your office and think about that night. The concrete room, the wrong number text, the impossible rescue. Your phone buzzes. Emma. Coffee this weekend? Dad says he's buying. Absolutely, you reply, because that's what family does. They show up. They check in. They remind you that you're not alone. You look at the framed quote on your wall. Something David said once that you had printed and mounted. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's continuing to function despite it. You've continued. You've functioned. You've healed. And now you're helping others do the same. One wrong number led to this. To purpose. To family. To a future you couldn't have imagined in that dark concrete room. Sometimes fate works in unexpected ways. Sometimes the wrong number is exactly right. Sometimes, when you reach out in desperate hope, the person who answers changes everything. You pack up your office, turn off the lights, and head home. Tomorrow, you'll help another survivor find their way forward. But tonight, you'll have dinner with David and Emma, your chosen family, the people who proved that strangers can become lifelines, that wrong numbers can lead to right places, that one text message, sent in terror to the wrong person, can become the first line of a new story. A story of survival, of strength, of finding family in the most unexpected places. The end.